Welcome back. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. We try to deliver every business day unusual option activity, and today is the 12th of October, and we're going to try to live up to that right about now. So thank you for joining me today, folks. 3 at 3 is going members only for the live version. So if you would like to continue to see this live, I believe next week is when we kick it off. We will effectively be only broadcasting this live to our subscribers, and then it will post up a little after the market closes, rather than being live for the rest of the world. So if you would like to continue to get this live, as well as, of course, be a subscriber to our unusual option activity services, we have several different levels of that. Any level subscription gets you in. You can go to marketrebellion.com/UOA live. That's marketrebellion.com/UOA live. And then you will see exactly what you'd have to be subscribed to get this live. Otherwise, you can still get it, but it will not be live. It will be delayed by a little over an hour. So with that said, let's dive into today's 3 at 3. Well, Nordstrom hiring 28,000 employees amid holiday supply chain crunch. And perhaps it should say they're efforting to hire 28,000. These days, easier said than done. But nonetheless, good sign for employment, certainly a sign that Nordstrom believes it's going to be a good holiday season. And my thinking is they're not going to have to cut prices very much at all, because you've seen the bottlenecks at the ports. That means fewer things coming in, which means more of us fighting over various toys and electronics and all the rest this holiday shopping season. So it's probably why they need 28,000 new hires. Anyway, that's one of the headlines caught my eye today. This also caught my eye, Pete, on the halftime report with Scott Wapner, talking about unusual option activity. So let's get into that right about now. BP, yes, we have had energy, and yes, it has been hitting and hitting and hitting. I said that this morning with Brian Sullivan on the Worldwide Exchange that goes out. It's the only show on CNBC that does worldwide live. At the same time that we're shooting, it goes live. And the stock was $29 when we cited 16,700 of the January 32 calls. Obviously, $3 out of the money, all the way out in January, however. The stock, to point out something for those of you who don't watch it as closely as we do, from September 20th, it was $24. It's $5 higher than that right now. It's trading $29.22. That's 29.22. So is it asking a lot for the stock between now and January to move another 5? No. But somebody puts down a big bet that it will, and that's what we do. We follow those big bets. So BP is the first of today's 3 at 3. Next one is Coke. Pete hit this one up. Coke. Coca-Cola has hit several times, but this is a stock that is a perennial underperformer. Take a look at it year to date. Began the year at 51 bucks. It's 54 bucks right now. It's an 8% return, not bad. Or let me see, no, 6%, 7% return, but nonetheless, 20,200 of the October double nickel calls. That's 50, that's 55 when you're pulling your fingers like that. So double nickel calls, this is the equivalent of 2 million share equivalent. We are following this trade. I am in lower strikes and hope to sell upper strikes against it if it rallies up to 55. And keep in mind that these are weeklies that expire this Friday. because the first Friday in October was the first, second was last week, the 8th. This one will be the third Friday, the regular Friday expiration. Third of our 3 at 3 is MGM. MGM, strong, unusual option activity in MGM. 15,000 calls change hands for the 47 strike. Slightly in the money for MGM, which is noteworthy. MGM, of course, not as famously exposed to the whims of the CCP over in China, in Macau. So MGM Resorts International, this is where we held our conference just 2 weeks ago. That was at the Aria, which is an MGM property. MGM bullish call buying. Stock was 47, 49 at the time. It has moved up by nearly $1.40 right now. It's trading 48.87 as we speak. It's up $4.47 right now, hitting the highs of the day as we're speaking about it. 23 billion market cap, 15,000 of the 29th of October 47 calls. So you might imagine that since I bought these calls, I am laying out some upside calls against them to lock in as much of the profit and still let it run. So as an example, you could, depending how bullish you are, sell the 49 or the 50 calls against the in the money call. That's the sort of thing that I would do. You have to decide what's appropriate for you. I'll tell you this, normal activity in this stock is 6.6 million shares. It's already turned over 22.5 million today. So we're approaching a triple on the volume side, 3x on the volume side right now. Questions? If you have questions, well, we'll try to provide answers for you. My handle is @Jon Najarian on Twitter. That's @JonNajarian. Half off. Joel Altman, his handle is @Altman_JOEL. When up in a position, how do you decide when to roll up and when to sell half? All right, 2 questions. I'll give you answers to both. First one, when do I decide to roll up? I roll up if we are still in that expiration that the initial smart money that we followed picked. So as an example, Joel, let's say that they were trading the November calls and we had a winner and it goes up and we decide to roll up. If we're not at November expiration, which we are not, we're in the 3rd expiration in October at this moment. So I would roll up. I have time, and the person that bought those options still has time. If they haven't closed that position, I would roll up. As far as when I would sell half, I would sell half on a double. So my example I'll use today is if I paid $1.80, I would sell if it dips at 90 cents or lower. In other words, half of my position was lost, I would exit. I know you're asking for when would I sell half. I would sell all of it on a decline of 50%. I would sell half on a double to the upside. So if we go from that $1.80, if we push over 350, I'm probably selling half of what I have at that time. And then I will snug up a stop either directly or put it on my trading desk and keep letting that thing run. Eventually it trades down to my stop and I'm out. So I take half on a double, on a 100% return. That's what I do, Joel. And I hope we both get a lot of chances to do just that. Roll down. Greg, whose handle is Cash Money 860. Cash Money 860 says, would you roll down a call? Yes, if they rolled down, if the smart money rolled down. Otherwise, Greg, just as I explained to Joel, if I lose half of my initial investment in that option, not stock, option, I will exit the entire position. I will not roll down. However, if they initially bought, say, the 55 calls, and now the stock has been dropping, and they decide to buy the 53 calls, they sell out of the 55s, buy the 53s. If that option hasn't lost 50%, then I would roll down. Otherwise, nope. The same thing that would discipline me to take my loss in the example I gave Joel Altman, same reason I would cut my loss here. MindMed, Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Jaws. Jaws at Jaws MJ says MindMed, MNMD. 3%, November, 2.5 calls, volume 10,756. Open interest, only half of that. Doc, trade it or fade it? Well, we did pick up on that activity in MindMed. Let me show it to you. There it is. Just as Jaws is saying, look at those 250 calls, top line on the options there, 10,882. Open interest, 5,574. Double the open interest already traded so far today. Look at those others, the 250s in December and October. Not really much to talk about. It's all out there in those Novembers. And yes, I would trade that. I have been in MindMed. I bet Jaws knows that because I was lucky enough to interview J.R. Ron. I think he's the chairman, could just be the CEO, but I think he's the chairman of the company. And I bought it at 30 cents, I think. It went up over $4, took some fat profits there. I wouldn't mind reloading right here. And although I haven't done it, I'm perhaps being teased into it by you, Jaws. So thank you. Don't miss the live stream. That's right. Access 3 at 3 with any of our UOA services. And you get so much more. You get weekly trade ideas. You get live webinars. You get our trading community, marketrebellion.com/UOA live. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA live. If you're interested, you can also call that phone number on the screen there, 888-809-8058. That's 888-809-8058. Well, that's going to do it for us today, folks. Appreciate all of you joining us. Please tell a friend about the show. Remember, it'll stop being live unless you're a subscriber to one of our services for unusual option activity. But you will still be able to access it, but you won't be able to trade it until the next trading day because it'll come out after the market closes, I believe, starting next week. Thank you, folks. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bang.